It should be automatic, Charlie. Okay, I think I have okay, 3 years. All right, I think that's okay. Was there anybody having trouble with the assignment before I do the correction as quick as I can? Was there anybody here that had the trouble with the assignments? You're having troubles trying to get them? Because I'm going to be fast with the correction. All right, I guess nobody then. All right, so to those that did it, let's quickly check for correction. Um, am I sharing the screen already? Okay. So what's the first question? What is the total score for the boys? So you're using sum for that. For the boys, you selected this. You select this. You have 72. What is the total score for the girls? Like this. Okay. Amongst those that said yes, can you give me how to get the overall average score? Okay, let me just call someone. Bukumi, can you quickly direct me on how you got your number 3? You can unmute yourself, please. Just tell me the formula to type, so I'll just do that.
All right, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I used the average formula. So
Okay,
I pressed the equals sign. So I typed average out.
okay.
So I now choose for the total math score from Adekunle to Chelsea. So it gives me the average score.
You said you selected it like
Hope
this,
I'm
Abby.
clear. No, no, no. Just the math score. Just for the boys.
You selected just for the boys, like
No,
this.
do you know what? After calculating the total score for the math score for boys, so I calculated
Okay.
for girls too. So I
Yes.
then find the average of the two values for maths for boys and maths for girls.
Oh, that's what you did. So you're saying
Yes,
this is what you did. You just selected these two.
yes.
Oh,
I then find the average.
that means you have 787. Abby?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
oh, okay. Does anybody have a contrary opinion to that? Adebayo, do you agree to
Oh,
that? Is that what you did too?
no, I disagree to that.
Okay.
Um,
So what did you do?
The average, I check the overall average for the individual, talking about the boys and the girls. I
Okay.
type my average functions,
Okay.
open my
Yeah.
brackets, then I just like the way I copied for the total scores, I mark
Like
down.
this?
No, 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 no.
Like this? Okay.
Individual, exactly, yes. Then I hit my enter. Then I have the average score for.
Now, don't forget this one is for the boys, and the question says overall average scores, which means for the boys and girls.
Okay, I do that separately, but I can still do that. That's not really a problem. I
Oh,
just
okay.
I
Okay.
like the whole thing together.
All
Maybe I
right.
should just
All
do
right.
it to give the favor.
All right. Thank you. All right. So the first person that was not. I understand what I was trying to say, but that's mathematically wrong. Yesterday I was explaining average. That's average is summation fx over. Okay. Let me go to that. Average is sum of all the values you have in a particular data set divided by the total number of the values. Now I have like if I should let me see. All right, I have 12 different. I have 12 students for the boys and 12 for the girls. That's 24. Now I'm meant to the total of all the values will be this plus this divided by 24. By the time you just do this plus this, it's going to be divided by 2, not 24. That's why and how you got yours wrong. So instead, you should have just done this. Now, is it that you select like this? That is, you are selecting both, but this is not, actually, it's not professional. Let me put it that way. This still works. Average only works for numbers, so it will neglect all these girls and just give you your accurate number. Let me show you. To still give you your answer. But like I said, it's not professional. So what I would have done is this. You select this first. You put a comma in your formula. Then you select this. You get. So it will still give you your answer. So quickly, those that did it, please quickly check for corrections. I who scored the highest among the boys? That's maximum function, right? So I'll just select the scores for the boys. But don't forget, the question says who. So I have to look for the person that scored 91. That's new energy. So my right answer should be new energy. I'm sure some persons will be familiar with all these names. I won't say more than that. So who scored the highest among the girls? We use the max function. You select the score for the girls. Enter. Don't forget it is who, so you trace it by. So we have by. Who scored the highest in the class? This time around is the class. That's the whole both boys and girls. Just like the other one. Is it that you select it like this, or you select this first? You put your comma and you select this. Close the bracket, and you have an answer, which is still a by. Who scored the lowest in class? That is your minimum value, the minimum function rather. Select this, have a comma, select this, enter. Now, number 8. I'd like someone to treat this for us. Create another column to differentiate between, well, the column has been created for you already. Create another column to differentiate between students that passed from those that failed. Now, this is a logical test. If scores greater than or equals to 45 means passed, so anybody that scored 45 or greater than that means they passed. Why scores that are less than 45 means they failed. So who's going to volunteer very quickly and just give me the formula to treat that? I don't want to call names, just kindly volunteer.
Okay. I don't know.
All right.
I can hear with
Okay. All right, I can hear
okay.
you.
So,
Continue.
all right. Okay. Your function
Okay.
if you open your brackets, then you for the
Hello.
you click in. Sorry, I'm coming.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it's the next one.
Okay, for the boys first, you click on the 80. That's you click
The
on the
first
mask or
score
80.
there. Okay.
Yes, greater than or equals to 45.
Greater than or equals to 45. Okay.
Instead then comma, then you write your if false or true. That's passed for the true.
Okay.
You close the quote, comma, then you open it again for failed.
Okay.
You close the quote, close the bracket. You hit enter. Then you click on that box, double click to do your drop down.
All right. So who's going to do for? Thank you so much. That's absolutely correct. Who's going to do for the girls? Ah, that should be a lady. Lady should do that. Um.
I
Oh, okay.
it's a
Okay.
male, sha.
Oh, man, don't worry. Let's have you. There's no lady bold enough to take up that. All right. Let's have you, sir.
Okay, for the girls, I entered the if function,
Okay.
press tab, then write E3, greater than or equals to
Oh, okay.
45,
So greater than. Why? I don't
comma,
know. Why is everybody starting with greater than? Okay, but that's not sure. All right.
okay, comma, then put the first uh, logical value in it passed in parentheses, comma,
Okay.
followed by the second value, which is failed in parentheses, and I close the brackets,
All
press
right.
enter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so impressed. You both got it right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now, does anybody have any question based on the assignment? Maybe you discover something, and you're not convinced with the answer you're saying. Anybody at all, please, before we move into today's work. All right, nobody. All right then. So yesterday we stopped at where did we stop again? Okay, we stopped at if okay, this was where we I didn't say this. Okay, this was where we stopped yesterday. So let's move to paste special. Now, everybody, I hope we've all opened our Excel file. Just navigate to paste special sheet. So if you can remember yesterday, I explained paste special. I said before you can paste anything whatsoever outside, in fact, outside Excel, the first thing you have to select what you want to copy first, or what you want to paste rather. You select it, you copy it, then you paste it. Now, oftentimes you just do, let's say for instance, I copy this. Just do Control C and Control V. I will just paste it like that. Now, I told us yesterday that the Control V we are doing is we are pasting everything you're copying. Like for instance, now what I copied, if you look at it, it's everything that was pasted, both the blue color and the values inside, everything were pasted together. Now, paste special allows us to choose exactly what we want to paste. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Now, the short command for paste special is control, control plus hot plus V, control hot V. I believe I gave us this yesterday in common. So control plus hot plus V. So instead of your control V, you press control plus hot plus V to apply paste special. So now don't forget the first question here says, how do you paste the values of the data set? Now that was being specific. We want to paste only the values. Now the first thing is you select this. Now, oftentimes I do have people when they want to select, they start dragging down. No, please don't use your fill handle to select. This one only means to this one can only reference. It applies the formula you apply to your input here to other cells. Please don't use this fill handle to select. You can just once this plus sign, this big thick plus sign is showing. Let me try and increase the okay. So once this uh, all this thing should be automatic join. Why do I have to be admin some people? All right. So the first, yes, make sure this plus sign is appearing like this. You just drag down. This is how to select. Sorry, this is how to select or highlight, anyone you want to call it. Then you Control C. That's to copy. Now I want to paste. Now don't Control V. You press Control plus Alt. I already wrote it down here. So just try and locate it on your system. Plus V. You press the three at the same time. Control plus Alt plus V. Now You might just press it one after the other, but make sure if your hand is on control, it should remain on control plus alt plus V like that. Ah, I'm not sure you can see my dialog box. Please, can you see my dialog box? Can you see a box appearing? Please let me quickly drop a yes if you can see it. Because oftentimes, sometimes it does not appear. People don't tend to see it.
No, we
Please,
don't say it.
oh, you can't see it, which means you have to do it as I'm saying it. Yeah, it's a different dialog box entirely. That's why you can't view it. So it's seen it as a different window entirely.
But we can
Let
see
me.
it on our own.
Is that
We can see it on our own following you.
exactly? That's what I'm saying. You have to follow me. So please, you have to follow me, so you don't miss anything at any point in time. I'm not even sure you can see it in your video when you are playing it at all. So that's why it's very, very important to. Someone's hand is raised. Prince Matthew, your hand is raised. Do you have something to say? Oh, okay. I guess it was understood. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay. Do you have something to say?
No, sir. It was when you're
Oh,
asking if we can see clearly.
oh, okay, okay. All right. So
Thank
please,
you.
you have to go. All right, you're welcome. So you have to go with me so you can see. Now, to those that have opened their system and you've pressed it, you see that we have all, we have formulas, we have values, we have formats, we have comments, we have validation. Those are the stuffs embedded in what you copy. Although you might not have comments, but those are the stuff embedded in what we copy. Now, assuming what I copied as a formula, I can only copy. I can also copy just the. I can only paste. I can also paste just the formulas. But the question says, how do you paste values? So I'm going to select only values. So everybody select only values and press OK. And click on OK. Oh, okay, I think. Oh, did I paste this somewhere else? All right, let me quickly do that again, please. Control C, Control. Don't forget, you have to put your cursor on exactly where you want to paste it. Control V, and you press values. All right. Now you can see your values are here. Now what this did was to paste only the values. I know you might be seeing the blue color. That's because originally, let me even change it. Originally, the color here was blue, the background was blue. That's why you still have the blue color. If I change this to, let me see if I change it to yellow. Okay, because of the white, let me change it to, okay, let me change it to green. Now let me delete it and paste it again. You will see that this blue color will not be pasted with it. Control Alt V. I want to paste only the values. Can you see? The blue color did not come with it because I only pasted the values. That is 200, 400, 600, 500. So that's what Paste Special does for you. It allows you to select exactly what you want to paste. So now, can we all try for, or rather, let me still do this. How do you paste the format of a data set? The first thing is you copy this. Now, please, I want us to note something. There's going to be a changes. There's going to be a change, rather, sorry. There's going to be a change. So I want you to tell me after I'm done what changed. So look at this very closely before I paste it. Control Alt V. So I will just select format this time around and I press OK. So can someone quickly drop, or anybody or everybody, drop in the chat box what changed? Something definitely changed. Can you drop it in the chat box? What changed exactly? Very quickly, from what I just did, I pasted the format. So what changed in the format? Hello? Are we saying nothing changed? Okay, let me undo what I just did. Can we see what changed now? You can see that the color changed from yellow to blue. The color changed from yellow to blue. That's the format. That's what the format is talking about. All right, so now everybody, let's try for C. How do you paste the formulas of a data set? Everybody quickly do that. Just copy this and paste it as a formula. Very quickly, very quickly.
Control Shift V. Oh,
Control plus Alt plus V is still here. It's
no,
still on my
Alt
screen. Control plus Alt plus V.
V. Okay.
Is anybody done? That should not take much time. So like I said, you just select this, Control C, Control plus Alt plus V, and you paste as formulas. Just make sure you select formulas. By the time you press Control plus Alt plus V, you see that all is being selected. That's the normal Control V you do. So just select formulas and press OK. Now you will discover that you have answers such as 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. This is what just happened. Now, if you go to the initial place where you copied it from, and you put your cursor on the first value, you discover that there's a formula there. That is D5 times 626. That is this times this. And if we move to the second one, this times this. So the same formula was the one being copied and pasted here. But the formula is being referenced here. You can see 20 times 100. The same format as you have with this one. The same format as you have with this one. So that's what happened there. That's why you have 2,000. And if you look at it, 20 times 100 is 2,000. That's how you have different values because it pasted the formulas. Hope no questions. So that's how you apply paste special in Excel. It allows you to select whatever you want to paste. So now the next thing is, hope nobody has. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Christian Hishama. Thank you. All right. So now the next thing is, how do you transpose in Excel? Now, transpose simply means align a vertically arranged value or text into horizontal. It simply means is either you change something written in vertical to horizontal or something written in horizontal to vertical. That's transpose. Vertical to horizontal or horizontal to vertical. That's transposing. Now it says that you have the month listed in column D, but you want to transpose the month to row 45. That is this particular row. It is being written like this, but I want to align them rightly on top of these values. Because this is for January, this is for February, like that. How do I do that? So the first thing is you will select this. You already know how to select. Control C. Still the same paste special. Come to the first cell here. Control plus Alt plus V. I know you can't see my screen, but try and look at your bottom right. You will see transpose there. Can everybody see it? At your bottom right, you see transpose.
Yes.
Click yes, thank you. Click on that box and press OK. So you have something like this. Now, if you discover this guy is still moving like this, it's just showing it's still being copied. You can just click on any cell, just double click on any cell. The line it will go. So I believe everybody got that. So that's how to transpose in Excel. So yesterday, While I was trying to explain the if function, I had to go and explain parts of the cell referencing. That's the relative referencing. So let me go and finish the rest. Let me quickly finish the rest now. We still have absolute referencing and the mixed referencing. I hope I'm not moving to talking too fast. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. All right. So let me quickly recap. So I said cell referencing is just basically making use of your cells. Let me just put it that way. I'm sure I gave it a different explanation yesterday. It's basically making use of your cell instead of the values inside. Yeah. So I said relative referencing. Now, please pay attention to this. Quickly jot. You will need it. So we have three types of cell referencing. We have relative referencing, absolute referencing, and mixed referencing. Now, it's very, very simple. Just try and pay attention. Now, what's relative referencing? Relative referencing is a type of cell referencing. Well, we already know that. That does not make use of the dollar sign. I'll repeat that again. Relative referencing is a type of cell referencing that does not make use of the dollar sign. Now, that's another question. What does the dollar sign do? The dollar sign is used to fix a particular cell or column or row. Don't forget, what makes up a cell is the combination of column and row. So in other words, dollar sign can either be used to fix a row, it can be used to fix a column, or it can be used to fix both at the same time. I hope you got that. So relative referencing does not make use of the dollar sign. That's a simple explanation. What is now absolute referencing? Absolute referencing, on the other hand, makes use of the dollar sign. Don't forget I said the dollar sign is used to lock a particular cell or row or column. That is it. Absolute referencing is used to lock a particular cell or row or column. Relative referencing does not lock at all, does not make use of dollar sign. Why the mixed referencing is the combination of the two. It's a combination of both relative and absolute. That is, mixed referencing at some point, when you are locking the row, you leave the column. The column is not being locked. Or when you are locking the column, you leave the row. That's why it's called mixed. Don't forget, relative does not lock any column or cell or whatsoever. It does not make use of dollar sign. Absolute makes use of the dollar sign. That is, it locks both the row and column. Yes, I'm not sure I emphasize that. For your absolute referencing, it locks both row and column at the same time. Absolute referencing locks both the row and column at the same time. That is, it locks the entire cell. Why mixed referencing? When you are locking your row, it does not lock the column. When you are locking your column, the row is not locked, which means it only locks one of either the row or the column at a time. Let me quickly brush through everything, or since I still have examples. So relative referencing does not contain dollar sign in a row or column. Relative cell references type in Excel change when a formula is copied or dragged to another cell. Don't forget, I explained the drag down that we were doing, the fill down, the fill down that you apply is also cell referencing. So it says in Excel, cell referencing is relative by default. It is commonly used cell reference in the formula. It's saying it's relative by default because your if function, you just do it for one and you apply for the rest. That's cell referencing. That's relative referencing because there's no dollar sign, right? That's what they're trying to talk about here. So now, we already did this yesterday, Abby. But let me just quickly brush it. So we have products, we have quantity, we have price. Now to get the total sales, yes, I can remember we did this yesterday. To get the total sale, you say 144 multiplied by 55. But in Excel, you don't call out by their values, you call out by the name of that cell. So instead of saying 144, asterisk means multiplication. So instead of saying 144 asterisk 55, that is multiplied by 55, you call out the name containing those values, B2 multiplied by C2, so that it will be easy for you to reference this cell. That is when you drag down, it will be easy for you to calculate for the rest. As you can see, there's no dollar sign, so that's why it's called relative referencing. Don't worry, we are still going to practicalize this. If you look at your, maybe some are already doing that. If you look at your Excel file, you will discover that we have a sheet for relative referencing. And what we have there is like exactly what is there. For me. And what we have is exactly what's there. Where is it? All right, so this is relative referencing. Do we have, okay, let me even ask, do you have any question concerning the explanation of relative referencing, absolute or misreferencing? Do you have any questions before we move into the examples? Okay, I guess no question. All right, thank you. All right. So now let's move to absolute referencing. Okay, I already explained. It says absolute referencing uses the dollar sign to lock a cell. That is, it locks both the row and column at the same time. I already explained that. So now, when do we now apply absolute referencing? When do we apply absolute referencing? I think this time we go to the practical aspects. So let me just, misreferencing is the combination of both relative referencing and yes. In misreferencing, a particular row is logged while the column is not, or a particular column is logged while the row is not. The same thing I already explained. So everybody navigates to relative referencing in your Excel file, that is the basic function file. Navigates to where you have relative referencing. Navigates to where you have relative referencing. So this is mine. It's practically beside page special that we just treated. All right. I already explained this, so let's just practicalize it. Now, how do I get my total sales? Total sales is quantity multiplied by price. So don't forget, it's not what you're going to do is not 144 multiplied by. Okay, let me just show us what I was saying. I won't say 144 multiplied. It will give you an accurate answer, but by the time I use my fill handle, can you see? It filled everything with the same answer. So that is why we do not use the values. Don't forget to use your Ctrl Z to undo. You do not use the values. You reference the cell. You call out the cell like this, multiplied by this. Enter. Then by the time you now use your fill handle, it will apply them respectively. Now, if you put your cursor here, you see that the formula has changed to this. If you put your cursor at the last one, can you see? So that's what relative reference does. As you are dragging down the formula, the cells are shifting. Now, if I drag down more than this, let's say I drag this down, and we have 0. Why do I have 0? Because there's nothing here. So as you are dragging down, the cells are also dragging with you. All right, that's been said. So now, hope everybody got that. Now let's move to absolute referencing. Hope everybody got what I just did.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So let's move to absolute referencing. Good. When do we apply absolute referencing? Now, I have a table here. With the situation of stocks, I'm sure most of us are Nigerians or presently in the country. So we discovered that sometimes within 2 hours, let's say in the morning, you go and buy something, it was 100 naira. Before you go in the next, maybe 30 minutes, they tell you it has increased to 200 naira. We were having a lot of that last month. Yes. So that's why we have this. So let's assume this is a supermarket, or these are looking like drugs in a way. I can't really say, but I can see Drosine or whatever. It's sounding like drug names. So let's assume this is a pharmacy store. This is data for a pharmacy store. These are the old prices, but they want to increase based on, well, dollar rates whatsoever. It says that their reason is. So they want to increase all their prices by 10%. Now, mathematically, I'm sure we all did mathematics, but most of us might have forgotten. That's no problem. Now, how do we calculate percentage increase in mathematics? Can anybody help us out with that? Just say it out. How do we calculate percentage increase? Let's say, for instance, now, let's say I sell bread. So it's initially 500, and then all of a sudden, due to whatever calculation, I decided to increase it by 10%. Now, can someone tell me the percentage? Now, I have two questions. The first question is, what is the percentage increase? And the second question is, what is the new price? Can someone quickly answer that? You can use the chat box if you are shy to talk. Please, let's quickly answer that. I sell bread for 500. I decided to increase it by 10%. First question, what is the percentage increase in the price? Second question, what is the new price?
The
So you
percentage
said
increase.
you said it
Okay,
increases by
please.
10%.
Sorry, I'm coming.
Okay.
I discovered two persons wanted to call something. Don't forget, you have to raise up your hand so you not to mix things up. But Kwalumi, let's have you. Let's quickly have you.
All right. Thank you, sir. The percentage increase, you said
Okay.
10%, and 10% of 500, that is 50. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I said the percentage increase. Okay, that is 10%. What I
Yes.
wanted to say is, what was the increase in price? Yes, that was the question I wanted to ask. But let me just put it: percentage increase is 10%. What is
Yeah.
the increase in the price?
That's 50.
Increase in, okay, increase in price is 50. How did you get 50, please?
Because 10% of 500 is 50.
Okay, that's why the 10% multiplied by 500 will give you 50.
Yeah.
That is correct. So what is now the new price?
550.
How did you get your 550?
Because the increase is 50 and the initial price was 500. So adding the percentage increase to the initial price, making it 550.
All right, thank you so much. So I hope we all got that. So this is what happened. This is what he said. The first thing is you have to calculate the first thing is you have to know the percentage increase, which is 10%. The old price is 500. You just multiply the 10% by the 500. If you do that, you have 50, which is the increase in price. We are increasing it by 500. Now, what is now the new price? You add that increase in price, that is this 50, to the old price. Now, if I type out that formula, it's like this. Don't forget the first thing is 500. Oh, I don't let me use the equal sign. 500 multiplied by 10%. right? Now I need to add it to the original price, which means I will introduce a bracket. I will put this one inside the bracket. Do we still remember board mass? Board mass. That is brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So you have to take this. So I did the multiplication first, so I'll put inside a bracket. So that will be plus, where is it? Plus 500. This is basically what we just did. This was how we got the 550. This was how you got the 550. The 500 multiplied by 10% is the increase in the price, plus this 500 makes it the new price. But don't forget, in Excel, I told us something. We don't write out the values. We do what? We call out the name of the cells. Now, let's use that same ideology that we used to get this one to calculate this. It's the same thing. Let me increase the view. It's the same thing. So now these are the hold prices. We have 10% increase in the price. Now we are adding plus because it's an increase. Assuming it's a decrease, we're going to use a minus sign, but the minus sign will not be here. It will be the other way around. It will be this minus this. All right, so we use our equal sign. Don't forget, using this ideology now, this is 500 RB, which means I will open my bracket. I will say the old price, which is B5, multiplied by, now 10% is already here. I won't type out 10%. I will select this cell that has that 10%. I will close the bracket. I will now say plus. Don't forget, here we have, please let us mute our mics. Here we have 500, which means plus what? 55 again. So you press enter. Now, I know you might be like, in absolute, you said we are meant to fix yourself. I want to show you something. Now, if I do drag down, you will discover something. You will discover that here is absolutely correct, yes. But by the time you get to the second, we have 64, 64, 49, 49. There's no change. Now, what happened? Go back to that formula. You will see that by the time we drag down, the cell that was containing 10% already shifted. Don't forget, I said when you drag down, the cells will keep on shifting. So that was what happened. If you go to this place, you discover that the cell has shifted from 10% to here, which means what? We have to lock this cell containing 10%. So that no matter where you drag it to, it will always remain here. How do you now do that? Now we go back to our initial formula. You see that cell, which cell is containing 10%? That's F2. Don't forget, in absolute referencing, you fix both the row and column. Sorry. Let me mute everybody. You fix both the row and column. Please, everybody mute your mics, please. Oh, don't know why this is now. Okay, thank you. All right, so where did I stop? All right, the cell containing 10% is F2. Don't forget, in absolute reference, you fix both the row and column. That is the entire cell. Your F represents what? The column, and your 2 represent the row, which means you put a dollar sign before the F. Now, by putting a dollar sign before the F, I'm not fixing the 2. I'm only fixing F. That is the column. Now, if I now put another dollar sign, I hope you can see how I'm putting it from here. If I now put another dollar sign before the 2, now I'm fixing both the row and column. That is, I am fixing the entire cell. Now we put enter. Now, if I use my drag down now, can you see? Now, if you come to this cell, you put your cursor here. You see, it did not shift. All that shifted, though. B5 has shifted to B6 because it's not fixed. But the one I fixed remain fixed like that, remain locked. Now, if I go to the last one, it still remain like this. So that is why we fix, or that's when we make use of our dollar sign. When you want to lock a particular cell, that is, no matter how low or how far you reference it or you drag down, it will always remain exactly where it is. So do you understand that? Do you have any question before I proceed? Let me display my formula in case you need it. Does anybody have come on? Does anybody have any question? Any question whatsoever? Please, if you understand, let's drop it. Okay. Please explain the formula part again. All right. The formula is just purely mathematics, actually. It's not it's not even exam something. Um, how should I explain it now? Okay. Bukumi, please unmute yourself.
Okay, all right.
Oh, okay, okay. I want you to go along with me. Now, Bukumi, let's assume you sell perfume. Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, let's assume you sell perfume for, let's say, 5,000 naira. And then due to
Okay.
increase in dollar rates or dollar price or
Okay.
whatever, you decided to increase your perfume by, let's say, 20%. Or don't worry, let me use 10% so it can be easy. You decided to increase your
Okay.
perfume by 10%. What will be the
Okay.
new price of your perfume?
Five
Don't
thousand
forget.
five hundred.
Fantastic. How did you do that? 5,500. That's correct. How did you do that? Hello, are you still
Okay.
here? Yeah. How did
Since
you
it,
do
it
that?
was an since it was at 10% increase.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
I can hear you. I
So
can hear
since you
you.
said it's an 10% increase. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm speaking. I said since it's an 10% increase, so 10% of 5,000 is 500. So I added the 500 to the old price, giving me the new price 5,500.
Exactly. From what you said now, this is what you did.
Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you. This is what you did. 5,000
Yeah.
multiplied by 10%, right? Plus 5,000. Exactly the same thing I wrote in the formula. But this time around, I did not use the values. Let's assume your 5,000. Let me write 5,000 here. This 5,000 is in what cell? The one I just write now. The one I just wrote. What cell is this? Bukumi, I need you to respond. What cell is this? Bukumi, can you hear me? I guess it's network. Wait, can anybody else hear me? Oh, let me be sure. It's only
Yeah,
Bukumi
Yes.
that can't
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
me. Oh, okay, thank you so much. All right, so I guess it's your network, Bukumi. But if you look at this cell, the where I have this
Okay, I
5,000
can
is
hear you now.
F12.
Please, can you repeat your question again?
All right, this 5,000 now, what cell is it? The active cell. What cell is it? What's the name of the cell? Is it the network or you are trying to figure out the answer?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Oh my goodness. The 5,000, what cell is it?
Yes, yes. Okay, okay.
This one, what cell?
I Okay, F2,
Uh,
yeah, I can see F2.
F12, right? All
Am I
right.
the only one not seeing your cursor very well?
Ah, wait though. I think you're the only one. Can anybody else respond? Can everybody see my cursor, please?
I think it's the network. I think
Okay.
it, 5,000.
Okay. Just try and pay attention to me, okay?
Okay, okay,
Now,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, F12, yes, F12, yeah, I can see it now.
all right, thank you so much. F12, right? Which means I won't write this 5,000. I will just anyway I have this
Yeah,
5,000. I'll just replace it by F12. F12. Because that's what we do in Excel. Don't forget, I told you
okay,
we don't call out the
yes,
values, we just call out the cell. Now this 10% too is in what cell? F2. So this one too will be F2. Is that not what you
yes,
said you didn't know understand? We? You said I should explain the formula again. So this was the formula I used. Now, I already explained why
yes,
I
yes,
have
yes,
to, exactly. I already explained why I
yes,
have to
because
fit.
when I use the formula, okay,
You were saying something. All right, so I guess you get it now. So that's just it.
please continue,
The
please continue.
yeah, that's it. I'm
Yes,
done.
yes,
This is
thank
the
you, I
end of
can
the
get it now.
formula.
All
Oh,
right,
all right. So it's the same thing, just
thank
that
you.
instead of using the values, I decided you can meet now. I decided to use the cell. That's cell reference. I already explained that. So that's just the difference. And I already explained why I had to fix this cell so that by the time I drag down, it will not shift from this 10%. So I think that's been sorted. So let's move to missed referencing. Let's move to missed referencing. So if you still remember, if everybody still remember, I said missed referencing is the combination of both your relative referencing and absolute referencing. Now, if you look at what we have here, this is a matrix, right? Let me expand this. This is a matrix. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 2, 2. 1 times 3, 3. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 2, 4. That's how it works. But don't forget, for cell referencing, what we achieve is we do something to a cell and we drag to other cells and we have our absolute answer. So what can we do to this one cell like this? What are you going to type here? That by the time you drag down and you drag to the right, you have absolutely the same correct answer. Now, if you agree with me, what's meant to be here is what? 1 times 1. But don't forget, we don't type values. So I will say that this cell multiplied by this cell. That's correct. If you enter, you have 1. But if you drag down, you will see this was meant to be here is what? 2 times 1. We still have 2, Abi. Good. What's meant to be here should be 3 times 1. 3. We have 6, which means that's wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. And also, sorry. Let me try and drag it out once. So I have this. Okay, let me drag this first. I drag to this side. Now you discover that this was meant to be here is meant to be 9, right? 3 times 3, 9. The cells are already shifting. Now, if you put your cursor here, you already shifted this. They already shifted to 2 times this 1. Now, if you put your cursor here, it's meant to be 3 times 2, right? It now shifted because don't forget, as you are dragging, they are shifting with it, which means you have to lock something somewhere. That's the meaning of this. So in that case, what do I now do to this? This formula is correct, yes, but I need to do something to it so that by the time I drag down and I feel, it will give me absolute correct answer for other cells. Now, please, I want us to pay attention to this. It is very simple. You just have to follow the principle. Now, this is the principle. A2 is what? A2 is 1. This is A2. Now, don't forget what you are doing to this cell. We affect all the values here and all the values there. For A2, what you are going to do here, we affect all the values there. So I want you to look at all the values in common in terms of rows and column. What do they have in column? What do they have in common in terms of rows and column? Let's drop it in the chat box. I want you to look at them. What do they have in column? In common? Very quickly, let's drop it. What do they have in common? The vertically aligned 1, 2, 3. Look at all the values. They have something in common. I've given us it already. I said in terms of rows and column. What do they have in common? Oh yeah, now what do they have in common? Just look at it now. Don't worry. You're probably guessing something in your mind. Just drop it. What do they have in common? Oh, wait, can anybody even hear me? Don't make it sound as though I've been talking to myself. Okay, now I'm confused. Oh, you can hear me. Thank you, because nobody's responding, so I'm beginning to think nobody can hear me. Okay, the numbers. Yes, I'm saying the numbers. The numbers 1, 2, 3. What do they have in common in terms of row and column? What do they have in common?
row.
You said?
They have the row and column.
Yes, they have the row and column, but what exactly of the two do they have in common? Someone says same row and column. No, now. You're
You mean,
having idea.
do you mean B2?
No. We are dealing with A2 first. That is this. We are dealing with these values, not these ones. This is what I'm looking at. This 1, 2, 3. This
So they have the
three.
column. They have the column.
They have the column in common. Thank you. They have the column in common. All of them, they are the same column. They are not on the same row, because if you look at this one, it's on row 2. This one is on row 3. This one is on row 4. They have different rows, but they are all on the same column. Now, that's the logic to this thing. Now, in fact, let me make it more easy. If you list them out, this one is on A2. This 2 here is on what? A3. This one is on A4. What do they have? See, they have the A's in common, which means they're on the same column. Now, back to this. Anything they have in common, you fix what they have in common. That's the simple logic. Now we're already able to point that they have the same column. Now you fix that thing they have in common, you fix it. Don't forget, me putting a dollar sign before A, I'm only fixing A. I hope you are getting that. Now I won't fix this 2 because the 2 is changing. If I fix it and I drag down, it will remain 2. But if you move here, look here, we have A3. The 2 change to A3 here, change to 4. So I won't fix the 2, I will leave it. But this A, I will fix it. Now we'll move to B1. Don't forget, this is my B1. Now look at all the values along B1. All the values, what do they have in common? Is it row or column?
Rows, they have the same row.
Thank you. They have the same row in common. So which means what? I will fix what? Now if I list them out for you, we have B1, we have C1, and we have D1. You see, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They have the same row in column, which means I'm fixing what?
The
I'm
column.
fixing.
Oh, the row.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. I'm fixing the row, which means I will fix the 1. I'll put a dollar sign before the 1. That's just a simple logic. Just look at all. A to represent this. Don't forget, by the time you are dragging, it's going to represent all these numbers. Look at all these numbers. What they have in column, they have A in column, you fix A. All these ones, they have 1 in column, you fix 1. And you press enter. So by the time you drag down, now you see that you have to drag down. Is it that you drag here first? And you drag like this. Or you can decide to drag here first. And you drag, then from here, you drag like this. Now, if you look at all the values, they are correct. 1 times 2 is equals to 2. 2 times 2 is equals to 4. 3 times 2 is equals to 6. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. So that's how you apply your mixed referencing. Don't forget, I said, while you are fixing the row, you leave the column. That's what I applied here. I fixed the column here. The row is not fixed. I fixed the column here. Sorry, I fixed the row here. The column is not fixed. So that's mixed referencing. Now, does anybody have any question? Does anybody have any question? No question, Abby. Let me check the chat box with any question. Okay, that means we understand it very well. Ask a question now. I will give you assignment too. I mean, I don't give simple assignments. I'll teach you 2 plus 2 in class. I will give you X plus 1 as assignment. All right, I can see thumbs up. So that means we all understand it. All right, so that's how to go about mixed referencing. Okay, so let's move to our cell locking. I was meant to give you these ones as assignment. Though. Let's move to our cell locking sheet. Okay, this is what I will do. I will do this problem 1 here, but we are going to do problem 1B. In fact, we do it as classwork. We do it as classwork. I want to give us an assignment. We will definitely do this on the assignment. We've already done this. All right, everybody, go to cell locking sheet. Except for analytics, module 1, introduction. Problem 1A. Don't forget, the first thing is what? Make sure you read the question and understand it. Don't just jump into answer straight up. Make sure you read and understand the question first. Now, the question says, determine savings from February to June. If the monthly growth rate is 5%, using the cell locking function. This are, if you agree with me, the same thing with the old price and the new price of a thing. But this time I says determine savings from February to June if the monthly growth rate is 5%. Using the cell locking function. Don't forget, it says determine savings from February, which means I'll be starting from where? I'm starting from this cell. I'm going to start from this cell. I'm going to start from this cell. So what I'm going to do is monthly growth rate, that's an increase, right? It's a growth, not a decrease. So I will say that this multiplied by the 5% plus is like this. Old price, you might want to write down this formula. Old price, how to calculate new price. New price is equals to old price, or let me type it out. So this one might also help us. New price equals, this will not allow me to use equal sign, equals old price multiplied by percentage increase. That is if there's an increase zone. This formula only applies for an increase. I will close the bracket. Plus plus the old price. So this is the formula. New price equals old price multiplied by percentage increase plus old price. But this formula only applies for percentage increase. I know you might want me or might want to ask me for what's now the formula for percentage increase. I won't tell you that one because I want you to do it as classwork. So now that being said, you won't start from this cell because the question says savings from February. So you say that you use your equal sign, open your brackets. This is the old price, right? Old savings rather. This time around, this is the savings. I will say that I will select the first savings for February, multiply by that is your asterisk, this 5%, you close your bracket, plus the same old price, G13. But am I done with the formula? No, I will close, I will lock L12, both the row and column. That is the 5%, I will lock it. Enter, then I drag down. So quickly reproduce what I just did. Then do problem 1B as classwork. I give us 5 minutes. I can call on anybody to give me their answer for any of the years. Don't forget, make sure you read the question first. Do problem 1B. Make sure you read the question and understand what they're asking you to get to do. That's the first step. Then you can now use your formula to carry it out. And then oftentimes, or not really often, sometimes some people bypass stuffs. Like for instance now, and also please, this misreferencing, don't go and be typing the formula. I can remember a student I had this particular assignment, this assignment too. He typed each and every cell. He typed formula for each and every cell, one after the other. I don't know how someone can have that such patience. I don't know. Something you do for one, you drag for the rest. Please don't don't do the same thing. No. Just do for one cell, drag down, calculate for the rest. So don't go and be calculating one by one. No. Let's be smart with this. Just try and understand the way we are doing it. I know there are always diverse ways to get some things done. Good. But it's smarter to do it the faster way. So don't cut corners. Oh. So very quickly, I give us 5 minutes. So when is it 20? That's not even too much. Let me give us enough time to reproduce the one I just did. So when is it 20? Also, you can use this time to get a short break. So what is N20, please? I want to start seeing our answer. As soon as you have done, okay. Don't let me say you should put the answers on the group. Okay, when you are done, just put the answer for 2018 on the group. When you are done, put the answer for 2018 on the group. For problem 1B, when you are done, put the answer for 2018 on the group. Answer for 20. Why do I keep on saying group? On the chat box, not on the group, oh, please. Put the answer for 2018 in the chat box. Answer for 2018. We have 3 minutes more. Who's that? I want to swallow us. Mute your mic, so please don't swallow us, please.
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Time up, time up. Ah, wait, is nobody done? Is it that difficult? It's simple now. If nobody gets it, I will turn it to assignment too. What's the cost of goods sold for 2018? I will pick anybody randomly and ask you since nobody's answered. Okay. Okay, I have an answer already. Who else? Who else? Who else, please? Is it the only one that got 4,050? Is the classwork hard? Okay, I have 6,050. Okay. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Any other answer? Any other contrary answer? Okay, I have 4,000. All right, let's start with now. I have three different answers. Let's start with Dr. Christian Samuel. Please, can you unmute and explain how you got 6,050?
Okay, so what I did was I did my equal to sign, and I opened the
Okay,
bracket, and
okay,
then I clicked on G, the row G26, the five
okay,
thousand, and then multiply by the 10% row. Yes,
okay,
L J28, and close the bracket. Then plus the 5,000 plus the 5,000 row.
okay. This is a formula.
Yes, and then I added the lock into
G.
uh, J,
Okay,
and then got my answer, and then I relatively dragged it,
okay.
and then
So
I
this is
dragged.
what you.
Yes.
So this is what you have. All right. Um.
Mm.
All right. Let me try and see that one. Okay. All right. Uh, all right. Who else? Who else has a different one? Well, let me add about you got 4,000. Please, can you quickly explain how you got 4,000?
Hey, Jesus. Um, okay. The cost of goods sold from 2017 to 2020. Okay, you asked us
Okay.
to determine the 10% decrease from it.
Okay.
Okay, if the initial amount is 5,000 naira, and
Okay.
the 10% of 5,000 naira is 500. So 10% decrease of each year as at 2017 will be 4,500. Then another 10% decrease of it in 2018 will be going.
Okay. I
The
will
same
need you
10%.
to give me the formula so I can type it out.
Okay, I did my
Oh,
G2.
G2.
Yeah, G2.
Did you say G2?
G26, sorry, I wanted to
Oh,
say.
okay.
Let me check
Oh,
very
all
well.
right.
On my G26,
Yes.
um, divided by J28. I want to type the whole formula before I put the lock in
Did you say
first.
divided by?
That's what I said.
Okay, but by. Okay.
J28, you
Okay.
close the bracket minus G16.
Close the brackets, which means I should put an open bracket here.
Yeah, yes, before the G26.
Okay, minus.
G26 now, after the closing bracket.
Okay.
Then you lock
The,
I mean,
okay, this one.
yes. I'm checking my own formula. I'm not checking your screen.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay.
you lock
Okay,
28. You lock 28 first. 28. A dollar at the front of 28. Yes, the G26. You lock coming. You're not locking it. Okay. Mm, okay. You lock the G. You lock both rows and columns. So you lock the G and the 26. Sorry,
okay,
you're not locking J. You're not locking J. You're only locking the
oh,
28.
okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Then you
So
lock
I,
26 and G. No, the first one.
okay, this one.
Yes, lock 26. Then you lock the G. You lock the rows and column.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But I'm not locking the second one, have you?
The second one.
This one, I'm not locking this.
Oh, let me. Sorry, 1 minute, please. Hmm. You not lock, please. Don't lock it. Don't lock it.
The G26.
Yes, you're not locking it.
I thought you
Wait,
written the
sorry,
formula
the
out already.
G20, the second one, yes. Sorry, the second G26. You are going to lock just the way you lock the first G26, please.
Well,
The
I should
second
lock it
G,
back.
yeah, the second. I'm talking about the second one. You lock
Oh,
the
okay,
column
okay,
and row.
okay.
Please run it
Is that
first,
all?
please. Yes. Oh,
Okay, so when you put enter, you have 45,000.
Jesus.
That way, I thought you said 4,000. How did you get your 4,000? I was expecting you to. I was expecting you have done it. You wrote out your formula, so I was just expecting you to call out your formula.
Okay,
But
to copy
definitely
paste.
for what I have there is not what you did to get 4,000 that you called for me. Let me show you what this error means. It says the formula or function is used by divide is used or function used is dividing by zero or empty cell. I'm sure we all know what's it called now? What's it when you have when your denominator is zero in mathematics, there's a word for it. It's not infinity, there's a word for it. Undefined, yes. Undefined, that's when your denominator is zero in mathematics. That's why you're having this error. So definitely this is not the formula you wrote to get your 4,000. But let me just copy it. All right. So the last person, that's okay. So which am I going to pick now? Okay, let me pick the first person. That's Fadugba. Oluwaseyi Fadugba, please can you call out your formula for me?
Okay. My
Please, I'm coming.
formula is
I'm coming.
okay.
Okay, preliminary. All right, please call out your formula for me, please.
Okay. The equal sign,
Okay, equal sign,
open bracket,
open bracket.
G26
Yes,
multiplied by
multiply by
J28.
J28. Yes.
Both the column and rows are locked.
Okay.
J is locked. Then the row 28 is also locked.
Okay.
Close bracket
All right.
minus G26.
All right. That's all.
Yes.
So by the time you apply this, you have this
Enter.
answer.
Yes. Then it's dragged.
Okay. All right. So they've all said well. Let me paste your formula here. To be for I think Fadugba, right?
Yes.
All right. Let me put the equal sign back so you can have it. All right. So now let's all look at this. Wait, before I post, does anybody have something contrary to this? Olala Ibukumi, I think you both have the same answer. Do you have the same formula with what I just wrote? Oh, he just joined again. Okay, let me just. Now, based on these three things, Dr. Samuel, from your formula. Now, if you read the question again, it says costs. COGS means cost of goods sold. Sorry. Now, COGS means cost of goods sold. So it says determine the cost of goods sold from 2017 to 2020. This is the original price for 2016. Now, we are using this to calculate for the rest. If the projected cost of goods sold annual decrease, which means every year there's always a decrease of 10%. Now, underline the word decrease. It's going to, that's a negative sign, not a plus sign. So which means for Dr. Samuel, I'm not even expecting plus sign at all. Others are able to detect that, okay, there's a decrease, not an increase. You only use plus sign when there's an increase. Now, they said there's an annual decrease. Now, when I was calculating for increase, it's okay for me to put my plus sign anywhere. I can write this first and say, this is what I'm trying to say. I can decide to write my plus sign like this, or I can decide to write my formula like this. Now, I want you to look at these two formulas. These ones. Look at these two formulas. These ones. They are the same thing, if you're going to agree with me. Either I put this on first and say plus this. It's the same thing. But it's not the same thing for negative sign. Now, if you are calculating a decrease, a percentage decrease, you remove the percentage decrease from the old original price. Which brings me to, well, Olivia, I don't know. This is a formula I know the year. This is a formula I know the year at all. Actually, there's a lot of locking and unlocking here. There's a lot of locking and unlocking. It means you didn't really understand why we are locking the cells. I won't want to go over that again. I would just advise you check the video after the class so you can understand why we are locking. We lock a particular cell so that it won't move. It will be immobile, it will remain where it is. That's why we lock a cell. By the time you drag with these ones now, G6 will remain G6, even when you get to 2018. And don't forget, it said there's an annual decrease, which means for 2018, the answer that is meant to be here is the decrease of this. The answer that is meant to be here is the decrease of this. It's an annual decrease. So you are not meant to fix this. Assuming the question says, determine the cost of goods sold from 2017 to 2018. If the projected cost of goods sold is decrease in 5,000, that is this decrease in 2016 for the rest, you can fix this. But it said annual decrease, which means every year there's always a decrease. So you can't fix this. So that's the problem with your formula. Now for Fabriba, or mistake already. The formula is meant to be, okay, let me read this. Now let me explain this. Now you look at 2017, there is inside bracket. It's inside bracket because it's a negative answer. So in Excel, when you have a particular value and it's inside bracket, know that it means it's a negative, and it's negative. That's why they are putting inside bracket for you. And if you're going to agree with me, G6 multiplied by J28, 10% of 5,000 is what? 500, right? 10% of 5,000 is 500. Now, if you now remove 500, if you now say Look at it now. 500 minus 5,000. This is what your formula is saying now. Can you see? Minus 4,500. Rather, is what is meant to be what? 5,000 minus 500. So the only issue with this formula is the G6, G20 is meant to come before this bracket. So this is what you are meant to have. What I'm just going to advise us to do is, we know this thing mathematically. That's something I've discovered. If I say we should use calculator now, like, was it Bukumi? When I asked him, he was able to give me the answer. In fact, you already know that, okay, just calculate the 10%. But most of us have the business sense of it. Just, okay, this, like this. It's not how to put it inside Excel that is issue. Just write it down first. Okay, you can write it down in your notes. Calculate it manually first. So by the time you now input your formula and it's not giving you the same thing as what you calculated manually, then you know that, okay, something is wrong somewhere. So just use your equal sign. Make sure you select this first. Minus, open your bracket, this, multiply by the percentage decrease. I'm using negative sign because it's a decrease. So I will fix my J and I will fix my 28. Enter. Now can we see? I know you might be like, okay, we have the same answer. Just like yours was giving negative. It's still wrong. So this is meant to be the right answer. Now, do we all understand before I proceed? Please kindly drop a yes if you understand. No for I don't understand it. Okay. All right then. Thank you. So the purpose of me trying to ask for those I got is so that we can see from their mistakes, see our mistakes ourselves, not for any other purpose, and be able to make amendments. So that's at least each and every one of us know where we made our mistakes now. So, all right. We still have more time. I don't want to go into the next aspect for today, but I want you to refresh first. But I'll just briefly explain it. So problem 2A. I believe you can do this one, Abi. You can tell me which of the cell reference are we using for this problem 2A? If one people can tell me the cell reference we are using, then I will leave it for us to do as classroom.
Next.
Mixed referencing.
Sorry, you said? Mixed
Next.
reference is good. Can we quickly do it? Let's
Yes,
quickly do it. All right, let's quickly do that. Let's quickly do that. So this is the formula for this. Let me write it out in case you need it. Or I can even put it in the chat box.
I've done it.
Oh, okay. Please, when you are done, just type done on the group. Please type done on the group. When you are done. Okay, done, done. Please, I want everybody to be active. Oh. It's the same set of people that have been responding that are responding. Don't be shocked if I call you next time. I give us the grace of this week. From next week, even if you are not raising up, I will call you. Everybody must be active. I don't know why the ladies have been quiet, except Mary. Mary has been the one responding. Others have been so quiet. Is it that we don't like talking, or we are the quiet, the silent type?
I think they're shy.
They are shy. Mary said you guys are shy, or they are just those in ways that they don't really like talking. Just do the just get it right and they just watch others. You know, it's actually more interesting when it's interactive. So let's try and contribute. Please, from next week, I'll start calling us. Mojisola, for instance. I don't know if Olayadam Lola is a female, but I think Olabisi Alabi should be a girl or a female. No worry, please. If I'm wrong, if you're male, let me know. Because the names are names like male and female share. So from next week, prepare. I will call you next week if you don't respond. All right, so I have two done. Can I have one more? Or should I wait for us? If you want me to wait for you, drop wait for me. I'm still solving. Or just drop wait for me. So I wait for you. Because actually, there's joy in when you are doing this thing yourself and you are getting it. Actually, there is joy in it. So don't let me steal your joy. I'm going to do the answer when you are still doing it. So if you are still doing it and you want me to wait for you, just let me know. Okay, nobody is saying wait for me. That's nice. All right then. So this is what they did, or let me just call on sorry, just to save us, just to save our time. I'm sure this is what they did. So just pick this this multiplied by this. I already told you for F39, these are the this is the value, this is F39. Look at all this value. What do they have in common? They have F in common. So you fix F. Move to G38, this particular one. All the values they have what in common? They have the same row in common. That's G38. So I will fix 38. That's what they have in common. I press enter. I will drag down and I will drag to the right. 6 times 9 is 54. 5 times 8 is 40. So this is correct. So those that said done. I hope this is what you got. In fact, by the time you are looking at, by the time your system is 2, it's not giving you 12, you know that you are wrong. So that's by that. So assignment 1, we already did that yesterday. To those that were not able to do it, please still do it. I've made the correction quite all right, yes, but still try it and do it yourself. And everything, maybe at some point you got lost, please try and replicate everything we did in class. The video is going to be sent to us either today or tomorrow, likely tomorrow. So let's go through the videos. Let's do everything we did in class. Do your assignment. So our assignment for this weekend is assignment 2, or against next weekend rather. Is this assignment 2? It's quite easy. I'm sure it's possible some of us have even done it. I'm already thinking of which assignment I should give us again. I want to add to the assignment. I've been thinking, okay, good. Fantastic. Now let me add to this assignment 1. I will call it assignment 9. Assignment 9. Or in fact, let me change this 8 to fantastic. So let me change this. Okay, should be this one. Create another column to differentiate. Create another column to categorize the scores. Using this grading system. Now this is the grading system. So I'm changing number 8 question. So even those that did it before, please, you can do it as number 9 anyways. So using this grading system, let me use Nigerian normal grading system. It varies based on the university score. So less than or equal to 45. That's fail. Or no, yes. F, let me do it this way. Less than or equals to 50. Hey, I'm already forgetting this thing. All right, I think okay, 52. All right, let me just do this. Let me do this way. Let me do the easier way. Let me start with greater than. Greater than or equals to 70. Let me use this one. A greater than or equals to 60. B greater than or equals to 50. That is C. Greater than or equals to 45. That is D. Then, of course, you know the rest. Less than 45. That is F. All right. So this is our assignment. Create another column to categorize the scores using this grading system, which means for boys, you calculate the grades. For girls, you calculate the grades. So that is our assignment. That is our assignment. Now, to those that have not done it before, now you have to do it with these ones. So those that did this assignment earlier, now you have a new assignment, which is this. So we have, I'll be expecting the assignments next week, both this and assignment 2. So next week, we are going to be going into data cleaning. We're going to dive into data cleaning. Now, if you remember what I said when I was explaining data analytics, I said the first thing is what? To collect your data, you check your data set, then you clean your data set. So even before all these ones we were doing, all this arithmetic functions, you still have to, the first thing is to clean your data set first. So how do you now, what does cleaning data sets means? It's just like cleaning, when you are cleaning your house, what do? You are removing the debts, all the debts in your house, unwanted objects that you don't want in your house. That's what you are doing when you are doing house cleaning. The same thing with data cleaning. All the stuffs that are inside your data that you don't need, you don't want them there. Those are what you clean out of our data set. Now, what kind of stuff do you clean? Like stuff like, oftentimes, sometimes if you want to print a particular, or let's say, you want to print a document, sometimes wherever that cyber cafe you want to print it from, they will tell you to send it in PDF format sometimes. Do you know why? Because if you send it in Word format, by the time they open it to their own Word, their own word will change it to their own default setting. It will mix it up. So oftentimes they tell you send it in PDF so that it will change anything by the time they open it. It's the same thing with data cleaning. Oftentimes when you import a particular data set from a different software and you open it with another software, you start seeing funny stuff that, what's this one? I'm sure some of us might be able to relate. You start seeing sometimes unnecessary spacing, some characters you are not even familiar with. Those are softs like that that we play in data. Those are the kind of styles we play in data. But next week, we are going to dive more into that. So we can read more on it. We can just read on data cleaning. So it will make things easier for us next week. So we are going to be looking at different functions that we use to clean data sets in Excel. The likes of the clean function, the substitute function, the trim function, the value function. So you can read about it again next week. Let me put it in the chat box. We have the clean function, the trim function, the substitute function, or we have the value function. So you can just read against them. You can read about them against next week. So this will be the end of today's class. Please and please, if there's anything you missed, go through the video. Make sure you do the assignments. Assignment is not punishment. We used to think it's punishment when we were in primary school. But it's actually not punishment, it's just trying to build us, sharpen our brain, make sure we get it. This thing can be so simple. If you don't practicalize, you think you know it. Well, you might know it, but you think you actually know it until you try to practicalize it yourself and you start saying, okay, something is wrong somewhere. So do well to practicalize everything we've done today. Even those ones we did in class, you might test yourself. You can erase it and do it yourself just to confirm you actually know it. So please do your assignments next week. We meet 7 p.m. on Saturday next week. Please, no lateness. I discovered some of us came late. You can't afford to miss, in fact, 1 minute out of it, you've missed a lot. So you can't afford to miss any minute at all. So please, let's all come late next week, Saturday. And also read on what we've done and what we are going to do. So to make stuff and work easier for us next week. So does anybody have any question? Either based on what we did yesterday or today, whatever it is. Do you have any question at all? Okay, I guess we all understood everything. So in the absence of no question, do enjoy your week, everybody. Have a nice night. Sleep well. We meet next week, Saturday.
All right,
Thank
thank you. See you. Bye.
Yeah, you're welcome.